Hey guys, and welcome to another stream. Hope you enjoyed the in progress new logo that I have. That was actually drawn by my daughter-in-law, and my son is going to do some work on it, and then it will be a finalized logo. It will always have, or I'm not, maybe not always, but I'm going to try and have in the right hand always a picture of whatever model I happen to be building. So, you guys got suddenly quiet on the chat. Hang on, let me look at Discord real quick. Oh, yeah. No, no. No, Kaylin, I will not be naked. It's the middle of the winter. Of course I'm fully clothed. So, continuing on with the X-Wing, did not get as far as I expected to last week. Hey, Kaylin. As a matter of fact, didn't get as far as I expected to last week, but hopefully, get at least 4 issues tonight. So let me see. Welcome, Eric, KX4 Gaming, which I believe you are top 2. Shu, Kenny, Kaylin, and that's all I see so far. Oh, Chris. I was hoping to have it done by New Year's, but, the parts didn't go together as quickly as I expected. So let me switch cameras, and I'll show you what we're looking at initially tonight. I mean, where is it? This is Pack 84, which is what we're going to start with. Parts from Pack 83 as well. You may see that I'm in a darkened room. I'm trying to figure out the best lighting for... Cool. Quit taking it apart. I did stop taking it apart. I'm no longer taking it apart for the things that are broken because most of them I won't be using, like the laser guns. I'm not going to turn them on very often, if at all. The closing of the wings, probably never going to do that once it's mounted on the wall. KX4. I forget as well. Let me take a look real quick on the Discord, because I know you were there earlier today. I'm not going to go up that far. Kevin, that's right. Kevin H. So, like I said, got the lighting dimmed down a little bit because I'm trying to figure out, because my lights are so low, how to stop blowing out the lighting in the camera. So let me switch over to the secondary bench camera. Not that. Sorry, not that one. I hit the closing scene instead. Let me turn on this light. Wrong bench again. So, hey, Goofy's hanging out on the bench again. So tonight, on top of the plastic pieces, these plastic pieces, pretty quickly, this will be mated up to here, and we will have one single X-Wing major piece, because the wings are now mounted, the central part of the body's mounted, the cockpit is right here, so it's going to go on. So it's going to actually be pretty quick to being... Your life. Yes, sexy mood lighting, of course. But it's going to pretty quickly become a really, really big single piece. And speaking of sanding, I will tell you, Kevin, Eric and I have the same thing going on. No. Except for I think I've got a few more windows done than he does. And oh, by the way, I am extremely proud. But and anybody who doesn't know, this is the Queen Mary 2. I am extremely proud of how these round windows have come out, because they are still round. They're half moons, and I love how I was able to get them done. But we're not here for the Queen Mary tonight. Cool. I'm thinking about the pink mat. I'm really thinking about the pink mat, but it's the camera doesn't bother me. It's the fact that how blown out it gets because of the lights. I mean, literally, my lights are about 3 feet off the table. If I took them and hung them from the ceiling, it would probably make a huge amount of difference in how bright they are on the tables. So let me flip over to my normal table, and we will be bouncing back and forth between the two tables tonight because when I'm working on the main body, I've got to be on the main or the secondary table because it will not fit on this table. There's just too much stuff here. And so, first thing that it tells us to do is work on the Trevito Bay housing, which let me get all the other things that we have built already that I believe will be going in here. And all the other things being just that one batch of torpedoes. And I have a feeling, because I haven't seen him since I first kicked on the stream, I think I killed Eric with the initial Goofy. I don't know. But like I said, I haven't seen him. Or maybe he's gone to sleep. And I think I read this and responded, but looking forward to that Thunder and Lightning board. Logitech freaks out no matter what. Yeah, and that's the thing is I've got the cheapo Logitechs. And 50s trucks into the cars of 50s group build. Can't see why you couldn't, but I have to leave that to Kenny. Yeah, like 50 pickup truck. And Chris said I don't have a pink mat, so I took a photos. I got a piece of pink foam insulation. to take pictures. Hey, Eric's awake. Okay, sorry, I had to get a drink of water. And oh, by the way, just because, do my usual ad for the HLI-FX boards. We got the HLI-FX one here with the slow and the fast blink. The HLI-FX 02 here, which this is for the Klingon bird of prey. The red one is slowly pulsing. You can't really see that. If you put something in front of it and diffuse it, it does actually show up real well. The blue one is the disruptors, and the green one is the photon torpedoes. And these have been going. These have a 10-year warranty, and these have been going. This one, the FX01, has been going since May. The photon or the Klingon bird of prey has been going since, what was it, end of July. Great boards, very well worth it. More mood, yes, more mood lighting. Going to see a lot of what, the birds of prey or the FX01s? And actually soon, I also have over on the over here on the bench, I have the what is it? Grissom board. Hey, not a problem at all, Kenny. Hey Dan, welcome. Hey GB, you guys came in at the same time. You hanging out together? But no, I enjoy trying to get you business on these boards because they're well worth it. They're much better than most of the competition. I don't know. I have not personally gotten any boards that are better than yours, Kenny. Okay, so we've got the housing back, the housing front, left side, right side, torpedo sequencing servo front, torpedo sequencing servo back. What are these? These are steel rods. No, they're plastic rods. And X-Wing 08 screws. So let me get out my screw box. I have to say, I've been using this screwdriver a lot because we have cameras out front that, because of people screwing with our decorations that we had out there well before Christmas and costing us a couple of $100 in lights that we had out there. Common Spence and Paul are the man on that. You're just the dealer. Hey, that's okay. You're involved, Kenny. But no, so we bought some cameras, and one of them, it's failing, and I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with it because the battery went dead and wouldn't charge on the solar cell, and then now it's charging inside the house, and it's not running down. So I'm just kind of figuring out what is wrong with this thing. Brings back my old so you're making, sorry, kind of brings back my old troubleshooting days on aircraft in the Air Force. So you're making a board that you're hoping that Eric can't break because you can take it up to 24 volts, 30 before you break it. That's funny. Okay, so it says, I've actually read some instructions. It says super glue is optional. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, Kaylin. We would like to put in a wired system, but we also would like to not spend a couple of $100 to $500 to $1,000 to $1,500, however much it would cost. So these wireless ones are good enough. 90% of the deterrent is just because it's there. Okay, so getting on to the build. Looking at this, I'm going to see. I don't know that this is actually going to have to be glued because this is actually pretty solid in here. Doing the same on this side. And it says this is the right side, by the way. I'm not really too concerned which side it is. And then the front, I may actually put some glue on from the back. Just a little drop. Oh, duh. So there's a flat side with holes and all the details. I thought the details went inside, but with the holes being sealed off, and it would be good if I put it right side up. And I'm sorry, I just went and built this. Didn't even show you guys parts. They were just down on the table. So there's the back of the missile bay, the sides, and the front. Just a little bit of detail here on the back, some details here on the front. Not sure how much of it is actually going to show. Hey, Donnie, welcome. So it says press the parts together. Take one of the rods, which have one rough end and one smooth end, fit the smooth end into the hole. It's not much of a rough end. It's more of just a little bit of a dot there on top. See, you can see right there, there's a little bit of a tab there on one side. The other side has nothing. And these are going to go in through these 4 holes, and then they're gonna poke in. There's no, the holes don't go all the way through on the back. Or is that the front? No, that's the front. Sorry. Got off work early. Wait, you're in this. Oh, that's right. You're on 10s again because they have chips again. So it says fit the smooth end through. And it says push it all the way through, press it, the rough end firm so it locks into the back. And of course, it goes into the hole right there. And it'll lock into the backpack here. Sorry about being out of focus. It does lock in a little bit. I'll have to wait and see if these things ever try and pop out. Then I'll have to worry about it. And it says to just go ahead and do the same thing on the other 4. So let me slide these in. I might actually need the tweezers to get the get it in the holes, or not. It actually slid right in there really well. And I'm not sure if these are going to be details that are visible or not. I'm guessing that they're not going to be visible. Push it in with my thumbnail. And so that's all of the quote unquote steel rods installed. And to match up the pins on the servos with the fronts, the holes in the body, and push them together. So you can see there are holes here, pins on the opposite side. So the pins will line up, and there's actually a smaller and a larger pin. Snap these together. Do the same with the others. If they'll pop in. Okay. So those go on like that. And then there's D-shaped holes on each of them, which will line up with the D-shaped area here. I was going to say holes, but it's not really a hole. It's not really a flange. It's just a raised detail part. Those will go on there like that. And that is the torpedo housing, torpedo bay housing complete. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go into the ship this direction. These rods will be on the top because of the slant here. Pretty sure it is down in the belly. Let me see what Don said. Not many chips. We just stand strong doing nothing, run a few cars, stand around doing nothing, then run for a few cars. Not much, Shu. I just assembled this. And you missed the new logo if you look up in the upper right-hand corner. It was drawn by my daughter-in-law. My son's going to finish it up, and then it will become a permanent part of my streams. Donnie, nobody's getting any Enterprise or no Enterprise, no Ghostbusters. Nothing's coming out of Eagle Moss right now. They're doing an inventory. So let me switch to the other camera. Because the next thing that I have to do is attach the nose of the ship to the engine section. Lay it to one side, leading with so it says to to gently lay the cockpit to one side. Of course, the harness, the original harness, is a lot shorter than this one is. Let me pop the chat out, bring it over to the other monitor so I can actually see it. Yeah, but Mark, they're not shipping anything now until the, I think it was like the 21st. And I just reactivated both the Ghostbuster car and the Enterprise to see which one I actually start getting parts for first. Well, see, that's the thing. Here's the thing, Mark. The reason Kenny's still forgetting the pink mat is he's only done it once. I've been yelled at more than once on my streams to put the Goofy hat on. I'm not holding out. I has no parts. So set that off. Offer up the front of the fuselage, making sure the frames on the left side don't trap wires. Offering it up. So what it's telling me is to make sure that my wires go on the inside of here, not on the outside where they're going to get crushed by the skin. And then bring this up here like this. Well, hang on, let me, before. So here on the bottom, there are 3 lugs, or 3 holes. I'm not going to flip it over. Just trust me, there are 3 lugs on the bottom of here. So this is going to come up here. Let me go a little bit further. There's a screw hole here, screw hole here, as well as a gap here and here to let these pieces fit into. So I wrap the wires around there like that. Bring this up, get the lugs lined up, and then I need to put a screw in there. But for right now, that's why they say to turn the cockpit upside down. There. But it doesn't tell you that though. It says to use an XW01, which is funny because they gave me XW08 screws today instead of the 01s. So an XW01, which goes into metal, one on each side. Wait, hang on. I'm reading, it says undo. Use an XW01 to secure the left rear. And actually the cockpit tub has got it a little bit too high. But it says to put one in the left side. And then do it on the right hand side. Oh, and then it's saying to undo the one below. I can't see for sure. Yeah, that's hot. So it's telling me next to, after these are both tight. Need to move Goof before I knock you over. So after these are both tight, it's saying to undo the one below, and I'm sure the reason for that is so that you can get the cockpit in. But I know the cockpit will slide in there. Let me double check, make sure that's what it's saying. Okay, so it's saying to pull one side off completely. Take the one on this side. Still no parts for your DeLorean, see? Kenny is old. Wait, what did I miss that makes Kenny old? Okay, so let me take this off. It wants me to take this side off. Completely. And that's so that I can slide the cockpit in. I really, really don't. Should be. Really don't appreciate them having it sit there like that with no support underneath the nose at all. Let me see. Oh, look at me go. I took off the wrong side. Don't think it's going to matter. Actually, it might. Let me put this back on. It says to do it on the right side instead. So I'll spin the X-wing around once I get this back on here. One book left for which one? For the DeLorean? What I would, if you're not getting parts for the DeLorean, Mark, I would call them and say, what's going on? I call Eagle Moss all the time when things are not right. And the key thing is, they get beat up so often that if you call them and you're pleasant, you get a lot done with them. Their customer service, while they're not the best, they get beat up a lot. Sorry, Goof, you're going to have to move to the other bench because I need a place to put wings. Oof. This thing is heavy. There went my Instaset. The reason they're having me do this, take this off on this side, is because to assist in routing the wires so they don't get pinched. I apologize for the really bright glare right about there. And the magazine doesn't help. I need a pink cutting board for this side to put on top of the bench. Oh, contraire though, Eric. What you're not realizing, Eric, is if you look where the red tube glue is, right about here. Oh, wait, look, Goofy's still there. You're right, you shouldn't have to, but they've gotten away with it for the last several years, and people keep buying their stuff. So this harness here actually has one extra light that I'm not going to use. It's to light the R2-D2 if you're or the droid area if you're not. Yes, Goofy riding the Falcon. Actually, if you look, Goofy is working on the Falcon, or he's riding the Falcon there, but he's carrying. Anytime you see him, he'll be carrying a model kit in his hand. But yeah, this is not specifically for the DeAgostini, so it is designed to go. This last light here is designed to go into the droid compartment. I'm not going to put it there because I've got the original one. What I do need to do, I haven't done yet. One up inside of here is good, but I have not yet glued these LEDs into the cockpit where they're going to go. Uh-oh. Been a few days since I've used this glue, and it appears the lid is glued to the bottle. I don't want to take the lid completely off. This is where the lid goes sailing, and I pour glue all over myself. I know you guys are up for that. Oh, wow. That's not going to work. Might have to use channel locks on it, or where is it? Because if I can't get it to come off, I'm not going to worry about it because the channel locks are actually in the garage. Let me see. Will this file fit in there? It will not quite. In case you guys have never done this, when your glue gets, the top glues down to itself, you can usually pry it off by getting something down inside between the lid and the the cap and the lid to the bottle. Unfortunately, this was on its side, so it got some serious glue up inside the tip. This may finally be a lost cause for this glue. And again, maybe not. Oh, thank you for taking care of the... nobody took care of the bot. Oh, Spence did. Never mind. Thank you, Spence. It could be. Eric and Goofy could be the same person. Yes, thank you, Spence. Usually, I've noticed that between the three of us on Kenny's channel and mine, you get most of the bots. There we go. Yeah, that's a glued mess. And like I said, it's because it was lying on its side. There's a bunch of glue on the side of the bottle, or the side of the tip. I'll try and get it off without gluing myself to it. And then later on tonight, I will, actually maybe not later on tonight, maybe right now. Nah, I'm gluing myself to the bottle. There's a bunch of hardened glue on the side of the tip there. Okay, back to where I was at. Put some glue on here, and I'm leaving the top tip off of this because the cap off of this because I don't want to have to fight with it again. And there's a bunch of glue down inside of here that I'm going to have to get out of there as well. I know I had there. No. I had my pin vise out because I knew I was probably going to need it tonight. Now I can't see it. I've gone blind, guys. Oh, actually, I brought the pin vise over here. He is. He's very much locked and loaded for these bots. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around here. And I do have to say that Gus did a really good job with these LEDs because they are actually pre-frosted, basically. Hopefully that's going to hold. Do the same thing on this side. And I actually drilled these out earlier because the kit supplied LEDs are 3 millimeters rather than 5. What I'm going to try and do is there's a gap on either side here where the wires can go through. And what I'm going to try and do is just make sure that they fit through those gaps. And then this last one, like I said, it's not going to be visible. So I'm going to drop it into here. And there's a little bit of gap on either side there for the wires to go through. Not really designed for that, but I'm going to use it for that. That one finally caught. Let's see if I can get this one to stay in place. Of course, stop playing with the tip. Otherwise you get tip dry. You are right, Kevin. Brute force and ignorance will overcome everything. The thing is, the length of these wires, once it's in there, it's going to hold anyway. Okay, so it says to run these two wires up towards the nose because these are the trying to remember. One is the oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so here's the nose. One of them goes to the switch here that tells the wings that they can't open and close because the landing gear are on it, which means it's sitting on the ground and the wings will hit the floor. And this is the IR sensor so that the board can get signals. Instead of a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, it's IR. Not fun IR like IR baboon. It's infrared. So then this needs to go in here and not cut off any wires if at all possible. Of course, this last one fell back out. Let me get a hunk of tape. And hunk of tape would be a technical term. It's a technical term from my Flightline days. See if I can get those there. That to go down there. This has to come out here. And the hunk of tape is going to hold everything in there long enough for me to put the body in, or put it into the body. I'm trying to reach this one all the way up to the front. It doesn't have to reach all the way up to the front. It has to reach just the around the bulkhead there. Pull this down. I have not yet tried to fit this thing in here with all these wires. I have put it in here before, but I'm pretty sure that getting this all the way down where it's supposed to be is going to be pretty tight, especially since these two wires are not staying where I want them. Yes, very important. Massive tape is when you ball it up. A hunk of tape is just this. So let me pull both of these out here. Grab them with the tape. See, this is where they surprise me every week. They have something that is going to just be the biggest pain in the butt to get fit in. I wonder if those go to the back better. It does. Wires going to the back is a little bit better, because then I can actually get this down solid to the floor. That one's up where I don't need it. Get it back down in there, not pinch it. And then that wire keeps popping up. Sorry if you guys can't, I guarantee you guys can't see through my fat head. Okay, so put that in there. Put this back in there, and then the fun part is going to be going underneath and putting the screws in from the bottom. If I can get it to grab a hold from the bottom, it shouldn't be that big an issue. Come on, there we go. Come on. Not threading in, not funny. Maybe up front. And I have sat the cockpit in here where it belongs before. I just haven't done it with the big massive wires from Falcon 3D parts. I think, yeah, that caught. Now, hopefully, when I turn it over, I'll actually be able to see the screw holes. Not turn it over. Stand it up on end. And hopefully not break anything. We ain't going to light speed no more, folks. Light speed generator just fell out. So I see screw holes. There should be 4. I will turn it all the way over once I get these at least started in here. Right now, I don't want the cockpit to fall out. So, welcome back, Kaylin. Half hour to make a salad. Corn on the cob, baked potato. But there's no bacon in your salad. Yes, Kaylin is now a thumper too. We had a chicken stroganoff type thing from Aldi today. Pre-made meal. That one's there. And I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but this is flexing like nobody's business. Actually, it looks like there's screw holes there, which if there is, that will be really nice because right now this thing is just really weak. Hopefully. Nope. Let me grab my headlight. Take a look and make sure. I really cannot see. I need to get one of these bottom ones on here. Unless, hang on. There's your problem. Let me put the screw. So I'm putting the screw in a hole here, which you can't see, but it's about 3/4 of an inch up from the hole I'm supposed to be putting it in. And that one is catching. So let me get the other 2 started. I'll lay it over a little bit, hopefully not snap it in half. That would be just really, really ugly, especially because if you look on the DeAgostini, if you search for this thing and you find it, it says discontinued. Okay. Gently, gently, gently. Okay. So I just put in this screw, this screw, this screw, and this screw. Where I was trying to put screws is into these 2 holes, and it wasn't working because there's nothing behind it. So let me put this back up, tighten all 4 of those screws, and hopefully I haven't broken anything in here. I don't think I have. Homemade lasagna. Love homemade lasagna. I'm with you. I am with you, Donnie. I'm hit, Luke. I can't take it. It's shot, but my ship just broke it completely in half. Eric, I need some help on that diorama. Snug, 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 snug. Now, just because I want to find out. Let me lay her down. Bring Goofy back over, because I know Eric's missing him. You're jonesing for your Goofy, Eric. Moment of truth. Look at that. I got lights. And it's kind of funny because I can see this one's bleeding out a little bit here in the back. Here, you guys can't see it. I got 4 engines in the back. There. Even better yet. Because the light coming out from under here, you guys can't see it, but there's a lot of light in the cockpit there. Where? Here. Engine lights. Purple engine lights. The only way to do anything, matter of fact, this red light here is from the board underneath there. The only way to do anything is to take this thing halfway apart again. Turn these back on. Let's see what it says after that. It says, don't put that screw in yet. What? Oh yeah. This part here on the DeAgostini, well, let me show you. DeAgostini part, I have a separate cockpit because I ended up with it. No, not too shabby. This, much better than that. And then that there. But this part on the DeAgostini part is actually a separate part. This part is a single piece, which I dropped at one point and shattered it. Nearly shit myself. I was very upset. Okay. Okay. Let me pick this back up. Let me disconnect power first. Pick this back up and look. And that's why there's nothing in there. So there are 4 more holes here, 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 and here. Those holes would match up with the DeAgostini part and hold it down. Since it's not the DeAgostini part, it is, the part's actually glued down. I glued it down when I put it in. That's why those screws get nothing there. And then this, and oh, by the way, guys, this right here, this circular part right here, which I'm really, really interested. Oh, I see how they're going to do it. The threads are on here, and I hate the fact that the threads in here are plastic. This is the mounting point for the wall mount. Okay, so this, it's 3 X-Wing or XW03. These 3 holes will get 3 screws. And okay, and the lugs that I was talking about on the bottom here that looked to me like they were really loose, that's where this will line up to. You get 3 of the 08 screws, and it will firm it up just that little bit more. It's kind of funny because here recently, one of the parts of one magazine for each week has been taking an hour. And today it's this one. That's better. It wasn't catching, now it is. That's tightened down. I didn't point it out because I didn't see it until just now. There's actually indents on where these 3 screw, or these, these 3 screw holes are, to avoid the screws that are holding part of the framework here on. I'm having to lean over to actually see the screw hole. But there is no fuse. It's a wire. Yeah, it says this completes the fuselage assembly for this stage. Handle it carefully because it's really fragile. It's not. It didn't say exactly those words, but it said handle it fragilely or carefully because until more bracing is added. This out of the way. Not dump the glue over. That would be awesome. Ow! Damn. There went my PG rating, but there's some pretty nice lugs right there. Funny thing is, looking at this right now from the side, I don't know if you guys will see it or not, but from the side, that looks almost like a snow speeder, at least to me. Ow. What is this? Clear parts for something. Okay. And actually, Chris, it should be let's blow this thing and get out of here. You're all clear, kid. Let me look real quick. Jalen joined into the Discord today, and Discord today has been very, very interesting. As it always is. So let me lay this in. And just to remind you guys, last week I was looking at this. I had the board right here. I was like, that's where the hyperdrive is going to end up. And that indeed is exactly where the hyperdrive went. And because the hyperdrive is there, I couldn't put the board there. Probably could. Hyperdrive's probably not going to be visible, but I don't want to risk it. Hyperdrive top cover. Okay. Would be good if I grabbed the parts. Blade to open the bag. So, got the hyperdrive top cover. Let me just take a look real quick. Okay. Let me switch over to my normal camera. Right now, restore the chat over here. So we got the hyperdrive, power generator, top ring, semicircular array, plus the parts from step 82 that were never used. Of course, I just dropped the hyperdrive back in there and I need it over here instead. And the hyperdrive. First things first, these can go off to the side. Let me open these parts from step 82. So I've got two sprue. It says take this longer of the two sprue, noting the small holes on these parts. Let's see if I can I get it to focus. There you can see on the top, right above my thumb, there's a hole there on each one of those. Carefully remove each one. And look, Didn't know until just now. But there's the part that's going to poke into all those holes. And by the way, I want to show you guys carefully remove them. In other words, grab it and spin it. Or those of us that are more civilized will use a pair of nips to cut them loose. This end one is really a little too close almost. Hey, look, these pieces are almost as small as windows for a certain other ship that I'm working on. So take these, turn this around, just take these and these tweezers to put them in the make an array like it shows here. Use tweezers to put them in, and it says to put the holes towards the top, away from me. It says to use tweezers, but I think I'm going to have to brute force them in anyway. Maybe. Okay, they just sit in there. Just out of curiosity. Line up the length, fit the 6 pins into the holes. The assembly looks like this. Doesn't say. The last step it said to use glue. This step, it doesn't say a thing about using glue on parts that if you see this one here, so you see this one here that's in there, right there. It's holding okay, but I'm going to still glue it. Because I would prefer to use glue that I don't need than not use glue that I do need and lose parts. I'm pretty sure we've all lost a part or 17 during our modeling. Yes, I did say a ship I'm working on, just so that I wouldn't trigger Donnie about the Enterprise D. Are you triggered now, Donnie? That one's a little bit snugger than the first one was. I shouldn't need glue on that one. But once I get all of these in here, I'm going to go back and put glue from the backside anyway. Just like when I put this, almost dropped it. Actually, I did drop it, almost dropped it to the floor. When I go to put this pipe thing on here, I know it's going to need glue. Yeah, Donnie, this is a secret shuttle from the Enterprise. Shh, don't tell anybody. Trying to get these to go in here, but they're not playing really nice. Now that's the thing too, is that I'm using just tweezers. If I really wanted parts to shoot all over the place, I would use the forceps I have across the room. This one just doesn't want to go in there. It's funny you should mention the X-Wing action figure, because there's the Kenner X-Wing action figure. Luke is actually going to eventually go in here. I haven't reached the point yet where I've determined, and I've seen that some people have determined, that you have to cut his feet off to get him to sit in the cockpit. If I get to that point, I will cut his feet off without hesitation. And by the way, welcome to the chat, Gamer Gal. Or not, I said welcome to chat. Welcome to my stream. What? Look, Donnie, it'll be below the knee. He'll be okay. Matter of fact, interesting. Oh, it's because I haven't messed with it. The knees do not bend worth a crap. But if I end up cutting him off, Donnie, you'll never know it. He'll be far enough down inside that you won't see the ends of his left feet or the ends of his not feet. That's 3, or that's 5. I lost count. Yeah, he is already minus a hand. I mean, who knows what they had to do to him to get him into those X-Wings. But he is in scale with the kit. And I did not see any reason to spend the extra $1 per issue for the diorama pieces that I was never going to use. He might. Yes, I'm hitting below the knee. He might turn into Kevin Bacon. Bacon is always good. So I'm just applying a little bit of glue to the back here and a little to the front where I just screwed up and hit it. Looking all over, and the paper towels are right next to my knee. I'm using pretty much the same principle that I do with the windows for the Enterprise. Just laying the glue right next to it to where it's going to hold it in place. And I know, Donnie, I said Enterprise again. So I wonder, actually I don't wonder, I wonder, but I'm not even going to try because I know it's not going to work out. If I try and put this cross pipe without glue in those holes. But if I take it long enough while I'm doing this, I should be able to glue myself to the model again. That's always fun. I almost did it. Felt the glue grab. Okay, so there is that pipe glued onto those pieces. I actually never identified what they were. So now you take a 1 and a 2. And of course, it doesn't say. But there's a notched corner. I'm just looking to see. Okay, based on pins, a couple pins there, and the holes for the pins, they'll only fit on one side. So let me put a drop of glue into each of these holes. And then put these pins down into those holes. Unless, of course, the part decides it wants to wander around somewhere else. Come on. Dropped it, but not very far. Okay, that's one side. Took a little bit of pressure to get it in there. Probably doesn't need the glue that I'm putting in here. Second one should be a little bit easier, and there's a grill piece on both of these. On the one side, yeah, that one went in a lot easier. Excuse me. Yes, greebly is the canon term for these thingamajigs. So on here, there's like a little grill area there on both of them. And I put it to the outside. Can't really see it on the camera. Trust me, if you listen, it's there. So some more little stinking greeblies. Wow, excuse me. Thank you, Donnie. So these little greeblies have some striations on the outside. Come on, focus. Try it this way. Okay, you can see the lines on the outside. Pardon for the lines there from the LED lights. Just a second. Every time I sneeze, it breaks something loose. Okay, take the remaining sprue, carefully remove each one, line up the 6 details. Okay, these parts go in these 6 holes in the front here. Pretty sure those are going to need glue. And if Eric's still awake, this is something I talked to him about because he, told him when he's cutting parts off of the ship, like, what was it? I don't remember if it was the propellers. It was something that on the sprue for the Queen Mary. It's very tight and it pinches the parts as you're cutting them loose. Can't work on Enterprise. Got no parts. I could work on the Ghostbuster car. Got many parts for it. And actually, I think I'm just allergic to continuing to work. So a little bit of glue. With the fact that the top is starting to gum up really bad, and I've got half of that bottle left, I can be very liberal with the glue these days. The only problem with super glue, unless you buy it in those little bitty bottles, is it always lasts longer than what you you don't run out soon enough to where you actually get to use it all. It solidifies or the bottle gets screwed up or something before. Again, these are going in hard enough. I don't think I need the super glue, but I want the super glue. That makes sense. This could be interesting. That one on the outside is a little close to the second one. I looked, the part that goes on top, this part right here does actually have holes that line up with these. That one's not playing nice. I may have to try filing one of these down just a hair. We're getting really irritated and just leaving them out altogether, because they add a neat little detail that's up under somewhere where you're probably never going to see it. That one's in there, kind of. Oops. Just dropped that one. I'm not going to look for very long. Let me put this on my head, crawl under here for just a second and see, because I'm usually pretty good about finding these things. And I do not see it. It is very tiny. so it's probably gone forever. I think this is actually one of the things you guys get a kick out of is the fact that I'm just dumb enough to go looking for parts I've dropped. Middle of the live stream. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find that. Oh, I did find a piece of something that I dropped earlier. Just because. Let me double check. Okay. Well, that solves that issue. You know, actually, Spence, that dried gunk on there, I'll just cut it off with the, I'll chip it off with the X-Acto. It's come off, the rest of it has come off before pretty well. And unfortunately, I don't have any acetone. So here's the last one. It's actually 5 out of 6, but number 6 is lost. Almost. And it popped out of the hole. Damn it. And it popped out of the hole again. And this time it just laid sideways rather than go in at all. So close. It's not playing nice at all. I'm not actually going to drill it. Actually, I am. I'm going to get a little bit of that glue back out of there. Shouldn't have put any glue in there, guys. So if they ever release this, you get down to these little bitty greeblies, and another one fell out. You get down to these little bitty greeblies. Don't put glue in the hole. You don't need it. One next to it popped back out. You guys are starting to irritate me. This one popped back out. That same one. This is where I get all Hulk smash. The last one moved a little bit. Okay, so there they are, the 5 that I've got left. One of them's leaning a little bit. Line rear top plate this way around so you can, okay, so I can line up the tabs here and here with these slots on the ends here. Actually, it slipped down on there perfect. So now they're in there, caught pretty well. Same on the back half. Press the plates in all the way in place, but no screws. You will fit the top cover in the next stage. Okay. Really? Looks like there are no screws. Oh, the screw. Okay, the screws come from the bottom. So you got the top plate. Those, I don't know why they're falling out, Donnie, because they're angry at me. They don't like me. Love water. So take 3 parts provided, align generator top ring like this. This piece here. Ah, okay. 1, 2, 3 holes. And then 1, 2, 3 lugs. Sits on there and actually sinks in pretty well. Press it firmly in place. Align the circular array around this portion. Again, 3 pins, 3 holes. Can't work on Enterprise. Gots no parts. Unless you want me to work on the CV65. Got parts for that. Got the whole model for that. So that's the top cover. And it will be fit in the next stage. Okay. That is the end of this issue. So issue 86. Hopefully this all comes together and doesn't fall apart. Open the bag of parts. And there are a lot of greeblies. So there's this vent looking thing. Just greeblies upon greeblies. These are just details. No names for them in the books. Other bag inside the original bag. You know what, guys? I didn't even think about this. Hang on. Look, now you can see what I'm doing. pipe. These are 08 screws. Imagine that. I have a huge amount of 08 screws at this point. Another pipe here, and I'm just lining them up kind of the way they have them in the book. Okay, that one. It almost looks like I'm missing one. Of course, it would help if I would pull my head out, the parts out of the center there. This one goes, okay. So that's all the parts that go on here. And I'm not relining them up. And it shows, the next picture shows them all lined up next to this part here, next to here with where they go. I'm just gonna, as it tells me to, put them in. So this large rectangular part pushes on here, just like that. One of these thin details, noting which way around it goes, which means it should go this way. The one on the other side should be the opposite way. No, actually, this one should go. I was going to put the little arms, I'll show you what I mean in just a second, the opposite direction of what they are supposed to go. Make sure they're both down. So on here, these little arms, these are little arms here. I was going to have them pointing in, they point out, and this side is just a hair up still. Kaylin, no. You have a very weird sense of fun. So this little fan assembly, 2 pins, 2 holes. We've seen this before. That pushes down, and actually this one's still up a little bit, but it doesn't matter anymore because it's underneath the fan assembly here. And then this hatch, I guess, goes on here like this with the round pieces towards the center. One of the large semicircular details. So there's 2 of them here. One here and one here. They go on here, and I'll show you just a second. If I can get the first one in. So this is what the part looks like. Got a tab here on the bottom, and it goes on here. First one went on here like that with the rounded part towards the inside. Second one goes on the exact opposite side. That would be awesome and fun to watch, but no, I'm not identifying what models these Greeblies came from. But it would not be fun for me. I would probably lose my mind trying to take that thing apart and put it back together. So take these two parts, this one here. So take this one here and this part. This part goes, is that the right one? No, that is not the right one. There it is. This one has a hole in it. It pushes down on here like that. And then this goes in between those two those two rounded pieces I put on just a minute ago. I think, let me double check. Wait a minute. That's why it looks wrong. This greebly here goes here before that spot. I had two holes that I didn't have anything to put into. So now this goes in here with the little funky piece towards the front, the rounded piece that I put attached, which it actually presses up against the ring that I had installed in the last stage. And then another large fan looking piece. It has a D-shaped pin to go in the D-shaped hole. This actually looks like a fan from almost looks like a fan from a car, but actually I think that's probably from the sprocket from a tank. I would put it in here, but I'm already crazy enough. Hey Lois, how's it going? Good morning. So it must be like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning over there. These identical? These are identical. Two more half round shapes here that go on here. So one right here. The other one's going to go over here where my finger is. $138. I appreciate you guys getting up so, or actually probably staying up so late to watch my streams. So this little hook-shaped piece. Oh, I'm sitting here going, why are my hands gray? I was handling the aluminum of the frame. So this little hook-shaped piece goes in this slot right here with the hook going over the ring to the outside. Getting up to start work. Dude, that is way too early. Trying to get this thing to line up. It's a little iffy because of the tight space. That's it. Right there. I should use this camera more often. I just touched my nose. I hope I don't have a big streak of aluminum on my nose. Line up the D-shaped pin in the back of this detail. Which detail? This detail. And that really, really looks like the exhaust off of something. But the D-shaped pin goes in there like so. You don't have to watch this mess. I'll still be here doing it even if you're not watching. That's a little bit better. Grabbing a hold of it by the two holes that look like exhaust. Now I can actually, hopefully, get it to pop down inside there, and there it is. Like I said, it looks like an exhaust pipe coming out of there. So now take this pipe and it goes over on this side. Okay, this pipe, this pin will go into the centerpiece. This long one will go farther out edge, and third one there in the middle will go into the middle hole right here. Let me put it on here and you'll see what it's I mean. Again, these are pretty well engineered to where they're going to friction fit and stay pretty well, if I can get them to line up with holes. I got one to line up, the other one's going off this side. Just doesn't quite want to go in that hole. There we go. So, like I said, first piece went in here, second one went into a hole right here, last one went right there. This one goes off the opposite side, has only two spots, one here, one there. I think she still needs you, Kenny. It's just that you escaped. Yes, even the hyperdrive has exhaust pipes. I think Uhura put it best. It's got to have a tailpipe. That's funny because this second one, the one up here on the top, is almost not long enough to fit down into the hole. It actually is not long enough to fit down. Oh, sure, make a liar of me. It fits, but it's not going to stay very well. Hope they don't tell me to take this out in a couple of issues. Plus, the Luke figure shot at one of the Goofies. I didn't see that. Oh, this Luke figure. Yes. Lewis, there is nothing quick about a 200-mile drive. At least I don't think so. So, completing the hyperdrive, this and this are now going to be mated. And there are, shows 5 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lugs. So they'll go on there. Okay. There's a hole here. Would help if I was down the camera. There's a hole, 2 holes here, 2 holes here, and then one in the coil is where those lugs go. And the screws will all go in from the bottom. Oh, and there's 2 pins right here at the very front that go into the top of the, I forget what these things are called. I think they were intercoolers of some sort. And take 5 of the 08 screws. There's a screwdriver. I'm sitting here looking for, where's my screwdriver? And I know you, some of you guys know and have seen me do it. Others may not have. Let's see. Depends on how fast you drive. 56 miles an hour most of the way. In other words, it's going to be either 56 or lower. I don't know how they are in England, but I know Germany is very much intolerant of trucks speeding. But like I was saying, some of you haven't been to the stream very many times. There have been times that I will ask the guys that are out there watching, going, when I can't find something, I'll be like, can you guys see it? Because I'm just not seeing it. Almost did that with the pin vise today. There's 3. This, once I put these last 2 screws in, will complete the hyperdrive assembly. And so it will not actually be attached. It's just going to sit there behind the pilot, which could be really bad if, oh, I don't know, I decided to invert the X-Wing. So actually, while this is, you know, these details aren't going to be, I'm playing to the upper camera, sorry guys. So these details are not going to be really visible, but it's not going to be too hard to take this out of the X-Wing and put it, you know, and look at it. So let me flip over to the other camera. Drop it into place. It might still have something, if they do something with the skin here that covers it up to where you can't take it out, that would be a shame, because that would be kind of cool to be able to take that detail out. So get this book out of here. OBS thought for a second. We are at 7:49. Hopefully this is not a long one, because I'm going to go ahead and complete. No, this isn't very long. Assembly of the nose and the torpedo tubes. Hopefully this isn't a sneaky one that surprises me. Parts. The screwdriver. Move back over to the other bench. Probably going to need these. Bounced into the Enterprise, take it apart, find it. No. Pop out the chat so I can put it in the other window. Because I like to see what you guys are talking about. Amazon just delivered. They were supposed to deliver hours ago. Okay, I thought I did. So if I can get it, I am not taking the hyperdrive assembly apart and putting that part in there. I just found it with my foot. That was the one that I dropped. Just not going to do it. Although it is entertaining to me when I find things like that after I'm beyond where I can put it in. So we've got the two sides. Of course, I missed with this one. Did not open the bag. Some more of the skin. This is probably the torpedo tubes. And some more XW01 screws. So I got XW01 and XW02, not 08. Amazing. So pull this back. They actually show it the other direction, but this is better direction for me to work on it. Where did I put the nose? There it is. And I put the nose on before. This I have to sort out soon, how I'm going to power that. So the nose fits down on here. There are a couple of pins here, and then double pins here for the holding the wires, and a pin back here. Everybody will know that this is missing pieces, but also nobody's gonna see that it's missing the pieces. And I can tell you that I took it apart and put it back together off channel or off screen, because I have done that with some other parts. Okay, so those little pins are now holding those two harnesses. Okay, take the wires leading from the antenna, landing gear lockout, feed them up through the middle of the framework so you can press the back of the nose assembly and the mounts. So it's telling me to feed these wires up into the nose of the X-Wing. This one here. This one here. They actually come up in a little bit different spots. And then push it on like that. Make sure the front is correctly aligned so you can secure two screws into these two mounting holes here. And it's two of the X-Wing XW02s. Not taking the Enterprise apart, Donnie. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. Because then I'd probably lose things or break things, and then the Enterprise would never get finished. You don't want that, do you, Donnie? The Enterprise never to be finished because pieces are missing? Electricity. What did I say about that prompted electricity? Oh, for the wires? Yeah, eventually. No, I'm probably going to do for these two. For the power in general, what I probably am going to do is wire up a 6-volt wall wart using Arduino plugs with them positive and negative specific ways. That way I can actually just plug in some Arduino wires into it once I plug it in the RCA portion into the bottom of the ship. Yeah. What are you going to finish it with? What parts, Donnie? You have fewer parts than I do. Secure the back of the nose assembly with one screw. If you guys, I don't know if you guys can hear Charlie in the background, but he's still kicking. He does okay. We've got some medicine for his cough. Lift this up again. Drop the hyperdrive out. Put this screw right here. And I'm out of picture. Or no, I've got the chat covering it. Absolutely, Spence. He gets extra treats right now. That guy is living the life right now. Okay, so let me move the hyperdrive out of the way so I don't drop it. What I've got to do is take wire 6 here, run it inside the nose. Wire 6 is the infrared remote. Get this turned around where it's facing the right way. Grab a hold of it. Other wire 6. It's convenient that they're labeled the same. Start getting them pushed together. So that's got those two. And then back here, I've got wire 10. And that is for the nose gear. Every time I think about it, I want to call it the nose landing gear weight on wheels switch, which is what it is in what it would be in the F-16 world. So, see if I can get this up where you guys can actually see what I just did. Oh. So down here, you see 6, 10. I just connected those plugs. I am so amazed I haven't broken these little pieces off here. Right here on the edge of the wings, these little pieces right there. Well, they're actually, Donnie, they're not Arduino wires. They're jumper wires. They're for breadboards. I call them Arduino wires because everybody else does, but they're jumper wires. So it says to turn the thing on to make sure the stuff is working. No, I'm not going to. I'll test that later. So now take the main hull panel, the internal torpedo tubes, and there's lugs there for the screws, holes there, sockets for the lugs. Pushes together right like that. And there's also, boom, yes. There's also 3 pins here that line up with the 3 slots on here. So that'll go on here. Like I had just a second ago. It'll push on there like that. And it gets tightened on with 2 O2 screws. And we just broke 2 hours. But I wanted to finish at least 4 issues. Not 24 volts. No 24 volts. 6 volts. I would put the double A's or triple A's into the belly of the ship, but the last time I had triple A's in there, I left the switch on and it drained them. So align the assembly with the end of the nose, which means stand it up again. Okay. You did, Donnie. I know you did. Oh, actually that was 9, not 6. Reading the instructions. So press firmly in place right behind the landing gear. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pins on here. 6, 8, 9 pins that are going to push in to socket holes on here. Apparently this is just going to be a press fit, which makes sense because I can see right here along the edges there's a lip that the rest of this other skin is going to cover. And this one here to me is going to be the most important one because there's a socket right there for that pin. So just push it on. And there's a lot of things on here that it surprised me that they were just push fit. Like on the wings. The skin inside the wings is pushed in there. It is not attached at all. It can fall out, or I could pull it out anytime I want with the wings open. Okay, so that's got that in there. Press the assembly firmly in place. Take the starboard torpedo channel. How do I know which is starboard? Line with 1 hole. So I say I put them where they feel like they fit. So here are the torpedo channels. Actually has an opening back here that's going to line up back here, pins to push to fit, and has the lip that goes over top of that. What's this do? Right one, I don't know. Nope, that was the right one, because this pin and this pin, there are 2 lugs right there. I knocked Goofy down. Eric should be here. He would be ecstatic. And like I said, the skin here, got the one on here. The other one, I'll show you right here. There's a lip that covers this, which pulls it down further. And then I think on the top there'll be a lip Who killed Goofy? It was Eric. Eric killed Goofy. Didn't kill him. He's just resting. He was tired. Okay. Okay, Goofy. Move over. You too, Goofy. Let me show you guys.
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Google is thinking its name is Goofy. So, that's what I just put on there. That cover, those two openings. I was like, what is making that noise? It's the wires in the front. Like I said, it's not conducive to putting down over here. Off of the torpedoes. Bad things happen when you crush torpedoes. Okay, and that is all of issue 87. Flip back over to, well, first, restore the chat. Back over here. Bring it up. Let's see, anything. Kill Goofy. Goofy down. Call evac. Goofy back up. So, got quite a bit done. Don't yell at me. I'm getting it. Got quite a bit done on the X-Wing. That was stage 87, which means 88 through 100 are all that's left. So it's 13 stages to go. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Had a good time. Got a lot done. This thing is coming together. It's huge. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it if you did. And if you enjoyed content like this or other types of models, a lot of folks do. Everybody over at Hobby Link International does styrene models. I'm the only one that, for the most part, that does these monster things. Let's see. Is it done yet? Not yet. I have to stop now, Donnie. I gotta work tomorrow. Can't do any QM2 until... No. But like I was saying, like and subscribe. If you enjoy model content, stop by Hobby Link International. Great bunch of guys. Link is in the description, and talk to you on the Sunday stream, if not sooner. Have a great day, or have a great evening, and take care.